Hey guys, this is Andrew Wolfe here again with Strategic Real Estate. Today we're going to be talking about lovely Boulder, Colorado, and we're going to be finishing up our series on Boulder and looking at what we can get at different price points, right? So we've started way down at $550, and today we're going to be finishing up at everything between $1 million and $1.25 million. So obviously there's price points we go above that, and we've already explored that there's a lot of options under that price point, even as low as sub $550,000. So if you're interested in those price points, or just kind of want to see what's out there at any given time, go ahead and take a look at those previous videos. But today, let's go ahead and dive in together. So we're going to go ahead and shrink myself down here, and we're also going to start off a little different. We're going to see kind of where we're at, right? So here's going to be a map of the United States, and today we're going to focus on Boulder, Colorado. But to give you an idea, Colorado sits right here about in the middle of the United States, a little on the west side, but let's not split hairs here. And as we start diving in, you can see Boulder is going to be, in northwest-ish area. So Denver falls, about in the middle, a little further north, but about in the middle, east to west. And this is going to be I-25 that splits the state more or less in half. And as we dive down a little deeper, you're going to see here, this is Highway 36 that splits off of Highway 25 and drops us down into Boulder. So we're going to keep on zooming in here, get a little better idea about the footprint here. So you can see Boulder again, northwest of Denver. You can see some of these areas that are surrounding us like Gun Barrel, Niwot, Lafayette, Louisville, Superior. Those are going to be interesting places to take a look at, which we'll do in the future. If you want to kind of have access to the Boulder lifestyle, but maybe you want to not quite pay the Boulder prices. So we'll dive into those a little bit more in another video, but today we're going to focus on Boulder itself. So yeah, you can see the footprint of the city here. Boulder, Colorado, it's kind of north, south, east, west. Chautauqua State Park was very popular. That's down here. Boulder Municipal Airport's right about here. And you can see the city of Boulder actually stretches out into the mountains here quite a bit. You'll see some of that when we start focusing in a little bit more, but we are going to focus on kind of downtown Boulder, Boulder Central mostly. All right, so we're going to pop back over here again. This is the MLS, guys. This is the service that we as realtors use to locate properties. So there's a ton of different categories we could fill information in to really narrow things down for you. But we're going to keep it relatively broad today. We're going to focus on Boulder, Colorado itself. So you can see if I put in city of Boulder, it takes us to about 560 or so options total. But we're going to remember, focus our price points. So 1 million, 1,000, just so we don't have any crossover from our last video. So you can see total, there's 30 matches here, guys. So it's a good chunk of properties, not way down from the 600,000 or 600 that we saw when we initially started, but there's going to be 30 properties priced between about $1 million and $1.25 million. So we're going to look at, a couple different types of homes here. I do imagine these will be very heavily leaning into single family homes, but we'll probably have a couple of townhomes and a couple of condos to take a quick look at as well before we dive into single family homes of the world here. There's going to be, as far as townhouses, 2 options, condos 4 options, so 24 single family homes as well. So we're not going to look at all 24, but we're going to look at a couple of each of these and see what we see. So let's go ahead and start with condos. So let's go ahead and open up the map, see roughly in Boulder where these are located. And they're actually, somewhat dispersed here. There's a pretty heavy concentration here kind of in central Boulder. There's this one outlier up here in North Boulder. But let's look at a couple of these that are kind of in the central Boulder area. They're really close to like Pearl Street and downtown. So let's look at these two and kind of see what we see. So both are going to be 2 beds. So that's really nice. This one's going to be right off of Walnut here. Built in 1900. So this is going to be interesting, guys. So this is not exactly what I expected, honestly. I thought I would be seeing more modern condos. But yeah, there are these old turn-of-the-century condos that were built, maybe were, larger mansions that are converted into condos. So let's go ahead and take a look here. So this is going to be interesting. It's just over $1 million at $1.05 million. It's a decent size for a condo at 1,300 square feet. 2 bed, 2 bath, like we said. It does come with an off-street parking spot. HOA is right here. You can see it covers most of the utilities. You would have your electric and your gas and your internet cable to worry about. But let's take a look here. So obviously very cool looking from the exterior, right? So you got real brick, this large kind of walkout patio here, and it's got a cool turn of the century vibe. It's 126 years old. So let's dive in. Okay, so you can see it's nestled here. You can get great views of the Flatirons. I imagine those will be even better from that deck upstairs. But yeah, really great unobstructed views here. Oh, this is cool. So you can see that a lot of the old kind of classic architecture we would expect that's going to give it a ton of charm. So you got the interior brick here that's painted to match the more, newer portions of the walls. It's nice and bright in color, so it's going to kick that natural light up and make the home feel very well lit. Even, though it doesn't have huge windows like you might expect in a more modern apartment. I love the stairway heading up here. Hopefully we get some more looks at the kitchen space. All right, wow, beautiful kitchen, guys. See this nice, beautiful, looks like quartz countertops. It's tough to tell, but I'm gonna guess that's probably quartz. Stainless steel appliances throughout. Nice range here and just huge, tall ceilings, guys. So it's gonna feel very airy and large in here. Even though it's not the biggest footprint, it's gonna feel very nice, and you're gonna not feel kind of claustrophobic like you might with the ceilings were lower. Yeah, love this. This could be actually, not getting a closer look, this might be marble, which is very, very nice. It's, obviously you got to be careful like setting hot pans on it and things like that. So put something, like a hot pad down or just keep it on the stove. But the marble, it looks great, feels great, really, really beautiful. I like all the dark wood cabinetry throughout here. I like the way they kind of hid some of the appliances. Cool light fixture, very modern. Gold is very popular, so you'll see a lot of that going on. But I love the ladder up here to access the upper shelves. Again, speaking kind of the height of some of these ceilings here. Oh yeah, so I thought that might have held the refrigerator here, so this is gonna hide the washer and dryer. So it's in the kitchen. You get some unique placements for washer and dryers in older homes like this because they generally weren't built to host them. But yeah, really cool, very well hidden, and the cabinetry blends in and makes it look really cool and sleek. Nice, giving an example of some of the hidden features on the cabinetry, little pop-up outlets and things like that. Very cool. All right, so upstairs looks like probably the primary bedroom. Has this cool like periwinkle purple color. It's unique. Obviously, the big feature here is these huge windows getting a ton of natural light, and it's a good size for the era of the home for sure. Beautiful, great mountain views right out of the windows here. Access to that beautiful deck we were looking at before, where you can really take in some of the natural features and natural terrain of Colorado. And I mean, the flat irons are just right there, guys. So absolutely stunning. Beautiful. Okay, so here's bedroom 2. Looks very nice. I wonder if they have like Murphy bed style setup here. Let's see, perhaps. I don't know for sure, guys. This could be a regular closet, but this tells me this folds down and acts as a Murphy bed, which is really cool because it allows the space to be a guest room or an office when it's not in use. So really, really great to have that flexibility there. Okay, upstairs. Oh, here's like a third little bonus space. This is cool. So this provides a great access. Probably looks like it doesn't have a closet, which is probably why it's not considered a bedroom, but maybe a nice little yoga gym or something like that. So a great flex space to have here. And here's that off-street parking spot. Yeah, guys, so that's a good place to start. Kind of gives you an idea about one of the condo options here. Let's go ahead and look at one more condo, right in the same part of downtown. We're still being Central Boulder. Oh, this is going to be a pretty darn new place. It's built in 2020. So this is kind of what I expected to see at this price point. You can see it's got a really modern aesthetic from the exterior here. About the same size, 1,400 square feet. Also a 2-bed, 2-bath. Comes with an underground parking spot. And the HOA is going to have, some of the more modern features we're used to. So it's also going to include your water, your trash, some security, things like that. And there's an elevator here as well. So let's take a look at some photos here. Again, much more modern. It's kind of what I expected to see. A newer build. This is only 6 years old at this point. Great view of the Flatiron. So it's still going to have that great majestic view here. Let's see where this actual unit faces though. Okay, so it's 3rd floor. This is great. Quartz countertops, stainless steel appliances, gas stove in a condo is tougher to come by, especially a newer condo. Overhead vent that's going to take everything out. Really beautiful, guys. I love it. Very modern. I like how they have a woodsy feel to some of the cabinetry here. It's got this cool texture to it. Nice deep chef sink on this unit as well. So a condo definitely gets you something pretty stinking new here. So I like the overhang. So they have a dining room table here in addition to their living room setup, but there is an overhang here in the kitchen island. So if you didn't want to have a dining room or if you wanted to have more living room space, you could certainly set it up that way. Okay, let's move on over here to one of the bedrooms, hopefully. Okay, yeah, so bedroom 1 here. Nice, very modern carpet, high impact look. It's gonna, handle any sort of foot traffic well. They have a cool bed here tucked into under this window, a nice little bookshelf. It's a good sized bedroom, guys, and I love the, not quite floor to ceiling windows, but very, very tall windows that are gonna allow a ton of natural light as well as views here. Cool little bathroom here. It's got the walk-in shower, nice subway tile backsplash, hyper modern feel to it, walk-in closet, and here's gonna be bedroom 2 here. Again, it has a nice little bathroom here, quartz countertops throughout. This one has a tub. It's always nice to have both, and this rain shower head is very nice to have as well. Washer and dryer in unit, of course, like you would expect. Yeah, guys, great top floor unit, so you can see no one above you, which is nice. And a good size outdoor space here. They have a small table and chairs, but you could certainly do kind of a more formal outdoor dining area if you wanted to. It's nice to have this overhang if there is snow or rain or inclement weather, but, we haven't run into that a lot this year so far. It's been pretty gorgeous and nice and green. I really can't get over this view. It's gorgeous, guys. Oh, cool. So we got some storage facilities here. Some of the other amenities you're going to see, parking spaces, all secured parking, which is nice. So that's going to be a couple of the condo options that are out there. So gives an idea. Again, we didn't look at all of them. There's a few more, but there's certainly condos out there at this price point as well. If you are looking for that very low drag, low maintenance lifestyle, if you don't want to deal with a lawn, look at a condo or townhouse. So speaking of townhomes, let's go ahead and look at those couple that we had out here. Glide these ones pretty quickly. I think they're both North Boulder, if memory serves. Yeah, so these are going to be both up in the north part of the city near Dakota Ridge, as you can tell, pretty close to one another. So let's move through them, see what we see. Built in 2003, so not brand spanking new. I would call these contemporary, kind of around 20, 25 years old. But it kind of has that cool like brownstone feel where you're attached side by side. Obviously no one above you, it's a townhouse, but it's a nice little walk up from the street. Has this brick facade, cool little balcony you can see from the outside. Nice little, shotgun style setup. So got a great living room here. They have a cool setup for the TV, fireplace, bleeds right into the kitchen, and it's nice, like we've talked about in previous videos, to have this kind of open layout between the kitchen, dining room, and living room, because people do congregate, guys, around the kitchen. So if you are having people over, whether it's for a meal or a game night or to watch the Broncos play, to have this open style setup where you can still feel like you're part of the conversation, even if you're busy in the kitchen, is very, very nice to have. Good sized dining room space. They have large furniture in here, so you can see how it all fits really well. Good style setup. I like the very bright flooring here. Another trick, like we talked about before, to kick up that natural light and brighten the whole place up. Gas stove is nice. Range is nice. This looks like it's one of the guest bedrooms here, so good natural light with this window. Got double-sided closets. Probably a queen-size bed here. A couple end tables here. And it has great access out here to the outside, which is always nice to have, guys. Having access to outdoor space is very, very awesome. Got some snow-covered peaks. These photos must have been taken a little while ago. But yeah, you can see how right in the middle of the foothills you are. Really, really beautiful. Great little ensuite, cozy bathroom here. Nice little tub. Here's the primary suite, guys. You can see it's a little bit larger. Has this very large window here. This is certainly a queen or a king. It has plenty of bedroom furniture in here. Lots of end tables holding up plants. And great natural light coming through here. And there's even some extra. They have like maybe a TV stand or a dresser right here. So plenty of furniture fitting in here. And they have their own beautiful little private balcony as well that looks out more of the plains view from Boulder. But absolutely gorgeous, guys. Ensuite bathroom, 2 sinks, nice tub, shower combo, full 5-piece bath here. Very, very nice in the primary side of things. And their own walk-in closet. Yeah, convert into whatever sort of use you want. Could be a den as well. But a nice flex space here. And here's downstairs living room. Again, another flexible space. Could be a gym like they have set up here. Could be another office. Could be, a lot of things. So really open, flexible spacing they have here, which is really great. Downstairs bathroom here looks to be just another full bath. Laundry room here, washer and dryer included. And you have a 2-car attached garage here, which is nice to have. Obviously in a townhouse style setup, still going to be great if you have multiple cars. 2-car garage attached, all yours. No worries there. Very beautiful. Yeah, so that's townhouse 1. Let's go ahead and poke our eyes over at the other one here. Again, built in 2001, so it's going to be similar era. Is quite a bit larger though, pushing 3,000 square feet here. So that's going to be probably the big difference you're going to see in the price. And still going to be a 3-bed, 5 bathrooms, guys. So it's got a ton of extra space here. Let's go ahead and dive in a little closer. Also a 2-car attached garage. Yeah, so I have a lot more natural light coming from this side. I do like these kind of cool bay windows as well. And I'm excited to see this upper space here with its own walkout patio. So again, you can see kind of the natural light already coming from the angle the camera's shot from. So it looks like real wood flooring here as well. So it's another difference. I like the gas fireplace, all these built-ins, but still has enough space here that is modern. Oftentimes when you have these built-ins, they have like a little cove here that is difficult to fit a modern TV in, but this would certainly mount on the wall very easily right here. A little more of a formal dining room space here. They have a small circular table here, but you could certainly put a bigger one in if you wanted to. Again, I love this window here. Cool window is going to allow a ton of natural light in. They have a great reading space here. I love a bay window. Very, very cool. Okay, so let's get into the kitchen space here. It looks like granite countertops here. I like the white cabinetry here. It really is going to have that timeless feel to it. If you want to swap out for like some, brass or gold cabinetry, that seems to be really in vogue right now if you want to do something a little more modern. But I think it looks great as is, guys. Stainless steel appliances and the microwave and the oven here. Gas stove is right here, and here is the built-in overhead that's going to vent everything out. Maybe we'll get a better angle on it. Nope. Toilet here, sink here, just like a little half bath. It's what you want on the main level of your townhouse for sure. All right, so heading up, large space here. Like they have it set up as an office space, which is really nice. Has access out to the patio. This certainly could be a bedroom with a closet right here. So it has that option. Obviously, great natural light, great access to the park. You can see the foothills right here. All right, so yeah, here's a guest bath here. It's got 1 sink, which is why I imagine it's the guest bath here. But yeah, it's great to have this. It's going to be on that second floor. So here's going to be your primary. Look how huge this space is, guys. This is the size of some of the condos we were looking at a couple of videos ago. Monstrous, monstrous primary bedroom. I love the gas fireplace, like how they have a cool kind of entertaining, cozy space to sit here and maybe read a book. Really great, built right around that bay window turret space. You're going to get a ton of natural light. Really, really love the way they set this up, guys. This is an awesome primary suite. Here you go. Here's a big walk-in closet. Tons of built-ins for, your clothes. You got your shoes right here. We'll get a better angle on that or not. But full 5-piece bath here. Sink 1. Sink 2 we might see, but it's back over here. Nice deep soaking tub. Nice tile shower here as well. Yeah, there's your double sink. All right. Yeah, here's a bedroom 2. So I like the skylight here. Going to allow natural light in vertically as well as through the window here that's going to lead out to the patio. So here's the outdoor space for up here. You can see kind of the plains, the foothills, really unobstructed view, guys. Gorgeous. I love it. Here's their private bathroom. Again, there's 5 bathrooms in this house, so I'm not surprised that most bedrooms have their own. And a cool upstairs entertaining space. I'm excited to see the other patio out here as well. This looks to be like another like family room entertainment space. And they have this set up as a TV room, but I think this could be a cool game room if you want to throw down a pool table or something like that. It's big enough to have like a gym style setup here. Washer and dryer. And gorgeous view, guys. Again, this is the Flatirons right here. Nice sunny clear day. Some drone footage so you can kind of see some of the locations nearby. Yeah, okay, so let's pop up now and get into our single family homes here. So again, there's going to be 20 some homes to look at here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the map, see about where we're at. So again, there's going to be a given amount here kind of out towards the foothills as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at a North Boulder option here. So this one's going to be at 1.195. Sorry, one moment here. It is a 4-bed, 3-bath, built in 1981, so you're not having to deal with any sort of lead-based paint issues, but it is going to be, a little more classic, contemporary-looking home. I can tell by the garage that it's going to have a more unique vibe to it. Yeah, it's got a 2-car attached garage like we just saw. Let's go ahead and dive in here. So yeah, I do like this cool kind of wood ramp bridge walkway up here. 2-car garage is very nice. Obviously, that's going to be attached, so you would just access your house through there. But if your guests come up, they're going to walk up this interesting walkway here. And I do like, real quickly here, this kind of little step off secondary path to a little breakfast nook. If you want to have a cup of coffee out here, you take this little secondary path. So that's a cool, unique feature. Obviously, real wood flooring here. You can tell when it's laid, like those like slender looking slabs. Looks to be very real to me. I like this cool exposed support beam, and obviously this huge, airy looking feel in the living room spaces is going to make this room feel very, very big and very grand. So it does have a very catching entryway space. Yeah, this is going to be like another like living room, dining room space over here. They don't have anything furnished, so we'll kind of walk through that together. But yeah, imagine you put like your dining room table over here. Cool little wood burning stove, testament of the times. You don't really use this nowadays, but it's cool to have. We'll see if it's functional or not on the notes in a minute. But either way, it's going to be really cool testament to the era the home was built in. All right, so they have this living room space. This looks to be digitally staged, as we can tell here. A conversation, have a no TV room, maybe a small library. You could even make this your dining room, depending on how you want to set up the rest of your house. So here is going to be the kitchen space. So it looks like they kept a lot of the finishes very contemporary to the 80s. So this kind of teal looking material was common back then. I do like the exposed glass cabinetry that kind of opens from both directions. It's going to be very cool. It has this cool honey color to it. They have modern appliances, though, stainless steel throughout here. And a glass stovetop here with the overhead. But yeah, interesting style setup here. I like it. It's very contemporary. You could also do a dining room here if you want to keep the living room style setup they had here in the photos. Testament to the age, guys. It's holding up very well. You can see it's unique to the kind of finishes we would see here, but it doesn't feel outdated. It just feels unique and different. Yeah, so there's how they would have their dining room table set up if they staged it themselves. Here's gonna be a bedroom, obviously great window. You have, side-by-side closets here. This is a very modernized bathroom here. Contemporary bedroom here. This looks to be the primary suite, closet space, very nice window. Oh, they have a side-by-side office, interesting. So this home is generally going to be, looks pretty ripe for a renovation to kind of give it a modern facelift, features that we're used to seeing here with, some plank style flooring, some modern cabinetry, some modern countertops. But it's a very lovely home, has great bones, guys. So if you're looking for something that you can really sink your teeth into and make your own, I think this would be a great example of it. So they have wide open basement area. They have it set up as a movie theater, gym space in the background. So this is really wide open. You can do whatever you want with it, guys. Obviously, good sized looks like the deck. The deck looks like it's in pretty darn good shape. Good sized backyard, tons of sun. The fence looks like it's in pretty darn good shape. Here's your 2-car garage. So yeah, guys, if you're looking for, a home that you can really dig your teeth into and make your own, this might be a really good option to consider. All right, so let's go back to our map here. We looked up north. Let's look at something a little more central Boulder-ish. Something kind of here right in the middle of downtown. Let's see what we got here. So built in 1990, so a little bit more modern. This is going to have an interesting vibe here, guys. I like the fence here. Again, it probably could use a coat of paint or a stain, but the roof looks pretty good. The paint job on the home itself looks pretty darn good. Let's get a little closer here. All right, so some modern touches for sure. It's definitely has that like 90s, early 2000s feel to it with the granite countertops here, these rounded corners. Stainless steel appliances primarily here, kind of a gunmetal or black fridge. I like the cabinetry. I think it fits the space really well. Real wood flooring. There's a lot to like about this home already, guys. Mosaic backsplash here is a really interesting feature you used to see a lot kind of in the 90s and 2000s. I think it looks really cool. It's really unique. It separates itself somewhat from the subway tile backsplash that's a little more common. Like we talked about several times, guys, it's nice to have open access from your kitchen space to your living room, dining room, and this is right in the middle of it. It's almost like the feature of this room is going to be kitchen space. So you can deal your food out here to your guests. You can obviously see into the living room and the dining room spaces. Really great use of space. So here's going to be bedroom 1. Takes advantage of being in that kind of Bay Area turret space to have another office built in. Closet space, good sized bedroom, guys. This looks like it's probably a queen, maybe a full, but plenty of space in here. I love this. So this is going to have a nice tile flooring on the shower, so you're going to get some good abrasion on your feet here. Obviously, it's nice to get a steam in here, very clean and clear. This is a cool floating cabinet here with pedestal sink. So yeah, this is one of the more modern places we've seen so far. I like the tile in here as well. Here's your primary bedroom, guys. So it's got an interesting wall here. So obviously this wall is gonna, I don't find it to be an obstruction. I think it's a kind of a cool, artful showpiece as you walk in. But a big, big bedroom, guys. King size bed, chair, end table here's nice little stoop, tons of furniture, great space here, access to your own private bathroom, walk-in closet. Here's gonna be another bedroom here. So this one's gonna be near the top of the house. You can see the roof steeps up here. Shot of that bathroom there, guys. Washer and dryer included. Great little space. I like this exterior patio here. Again, you could throw a table and chairs here and, have a nice little place to have some coffee, soak in the sun. Yeah, wave to your neighbors. A couple garden plots. It's a good sized little backyard, guys. It's not huge, but it's decent size. And you have a garage spot, and this obviously secondary parking spot doesn't have a private garage, but it is off street and easy to access. Gives an idea about where you're at here. And again, guys, it's right in central Boulder here. So you're walking to Pearl Street, you're walking to kind of all the great nightlife around Boulder. So it's a great place to be able to escape to, but you also have easy access to all the Boulder features. All right, guys, so let's look at one more. We did north, we did central. Let's go down south here. So, gosh, we spent a lot of time in Martin Acres. So I'm tempted to go back there, but you know what? Let's do it. Look at this one here. It's a little further out of Martin Acres. It's more like South Boulder, Sobo proper. It's going to be near kind of some waterfront. So let's take a look here. So this one's right at 1.2. Looks like they started off 1.25, then dropped down. Little older home built in 1976, but I'm hoping they kind of did some modern touches and really kept some of the classical charm. That's to have some of that cool, unique architecture and some of the charm we built with back then, but with some modern touches. A little under 1,800 square feet here. It's going to be a 3-2, so good size home if you have family or roommates or whatever you want to do, but it's not so much that it's hard to manage. 2-car attached garage that we saw. Let's go ahead and take a look here. I do like this kind of cool burnt sienna orange color here. It looks like some solar panels up top. Cool little patio here, glass front entryway. So it's cool interior covered mudroom space before you get to the proper interior of the house. We call this a sunroom. So you come in, you can go up, you can go down, or you can go straight. Obviously very wide open. Again, very akin to a mid-century modern style architecture. I like this slope roof. It has the cool exposed wood. Feels very Colorado, and obviously just windows everywhere, guys. You get a good amount of tree cover here, which will help with your efficiency if you don't want to run like your air all year long. But this is an awesome style setup here, guys. I really love this style of architecture for this reason. It's very simple, it's very basic, but it allows a ton of natural light when you live in one of the most beautiful places in the world. Why wouldn't you want to do that? Cool built-ins. I like a library. I like a no TV room in my house. I think this is a great use of this space. Stepping up into like your TV room, more formal living room space here. And again, it's all very wide open and very connected in this mid-century style setup. Access to the back patio, soaking in the beautiful rays here. So might need to, do a little more reinforcing if you have a dog or something you're worried about, but it's great to have that open access without anything obstructing your beautiful view. All right, kitchen space, guys. Got some quartz countertops throughout, stainless steel appliances like we're used to. I like this kitchen island here with, looks like they have kind of surrounding stools all around it to maximize their seating here. So if you did want to have a formal dining room, this is a great way to be able to utilize the exterior space for other reasons. Like we saw, they had kind of the office style setup there. They had the living room. You could make one of those a formal dining room if you wanted to, but this gives you that flexibility. Access to the back patio, going to get more natural light from basically every direction here. And oh, cool, they do have a formal style dining room right here. I'm glad we saw this photo. They kind of hid it from us before. But they do have a formal dining room right here. So if you wanted to have a traditional meal or have folks over for a game night or Thanksgiving, whatever you're doing, you have plenty of space to do it. All right, guys, here's out to the outdoor space. This is where we want to spend our time in Boulder. Obviously, this is a lovely home. You're going to be very comfortable inside of it. But oftentimes when we're living in Boulder, we experience, enjoyment outside of our walls more often than inside. So great outdoor space, great place to have a dinner outside, have some friends over, take advantage of your backyard, throw some bags around, listen to some music, all that good stuff. All right, bedroom one here. So they have it set up as an office. Very clearly could easily be a bedroom. Bathroom one here, full bath, good deep sized tub here as well. A nice little sink. Looks like these are relatively original, contemporary for the home. And here's gonna be bedroom two. I'm wondering if this is the primary based on the size. Could be another guest. Good amount of closet space here. I like the teal, gives it kind of a cool break with this accent wall. Good sized bedroom furniture for sure. And access directly to the outside. So yeah, I do think this is likely the primary. Bedroom right here as well, so it's at 3-2. So again, you may not have like a primary suite here. It's gonna be a bedroom size and location. I dig this little copper sink. That's a cool touch. It's a little splash of something more modern in the home. All right, and bedroom 3 here. So again, whichever of these bedrooms you feel like is the primary or you want to hang your hat in, obviously that's totally up to you. This one they have set up as kind of like an office space / pseudo gym. Plenty of flexibility, and this gives you an idea about the size of their outdoor space. So plenty of outdoor space, plenty of spaces to entertain in, guys. I like this home quite a bit. Again, this really speaks to my personal aesthetic, but if it's not yours, there's plenty of more traditional modern options out there at this budget for sure. All right, guys. Well, hey, we saw a bunch today. So we saw a bunch today, and we saw a bunch over the last couple of weeks here at various price points. So everything we saw in the last 2 weeks has been in Boulder, and we saw everything from sub 550 all the way up today to 1.25 million. Certainly, we could spend a little bit more if we wanted to, but I wanted to give you guys a few different slots where you could think about how much does my budget buy me in Boulder. And there's plenty of flexibility outside of that, guys. We will get to them at some point. We'll look at some neighboring towns. We will look at some of those homes outside of the city proper and kind of the foothills area that are in Boulder. But if you're curious what your dollar gets you in town here, if you want to see what fits your aesthetic, let's have a conversation. Call, text, email, whatever's easiest for you. You can even just leave a comment on this video. I respond to everything. And again, I love making these videos for you guys, but I love even more talking to you directly. So please reach out. Let me know how I can help. Again, that's Andrew Wolfe. You guys have a great day.